Hey, today we're going to take a look at, what's called composite harmony or parallel harmony. And we're going to use night and day as an example of that and sort of dig into the concept of parallel harmony a little bit more. Now, if we look at the two night and day, you'll see that it's got a minor seven flat five chord at the top, right? That minor seven flat five chord is actually the two chord in a minor key. Now, this is a big deal because if you're reading real book tunes, and you see a D minor seven flat five chord, that should immediately tell you that a minor key is at play, even though it may not look like it, right? That's the way the real book is written with that in mind. The minor seven flat five chord is not just an alteration. Oh hey, what the heck? Let's throw in a flat five. It just sounds cool. No, it doesn't work like that. The minor seven flat five chord is the two chord in a minor key. I'll show you what I mean. If we take here's a D minor seven flat five. Now I'm playing this just so we can get the tonality in our head. Now listen to what happens when I play the C minor scale. It just sounds cool. I mean, it just sounds right? Because that chord is derived from the C minor scale. So the question is, well, hey, do you mean we're playing in minor and major in four bars in the same four measures? I would say yes, and because it's one of the things that, as far as this tune is concerned, that makes this tune sound really cool. But this is just one example of thousands. All right, I mean it's just ubiquitous. This kind of use of a minor turnaround in a major key, right? It's just everywhere, and it gives you that biting, that flat five kind of funkiness, right? It's such a rich, delicious chord, and then we go to the five chord, which could be either in a major key or a minor key, and then to the one in C major. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about here in a diagram in a diagram form. So in the key of C major, the chords in the key of C major are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G7, A minor, and B minor 7 flat 5. You'll notice that the minor 7 flat 5 in the key of C major is the 7 chord in the key, right? Okay. And if we look at the parallel C minor, parallel meaning same root note, right? Same key center, same tonal center. We're looking at the C minor, and if we harmonize the scale of C minor, we're going to end up with the chords C minor, D minor 7 flat 5, E flat major 7, F minor 7, G minor 7, A flat major 7, and B flat 7. Now, when we put these two scales together, we call it a composite scale or composite harmony. So if we look at this scale of C major, it's a 7-note scale. When we look at the scale of C natural minor, it's also a 7-note scale. But when we put those two scales together, now we have a scale that goes C. These are just the single notes, not the chords yet. a scale that goes C, D, E flat, right? Because the E flat comes from a C minor scale, and an E comes from the C major scale. We're compositing these. We're putting them together. We're integrating them. And then we have the 4 chord, which is or the fourth degree of the scale, which is F, and then the 5th degree of the scale, G, and now we have to name the flat 6th degree because that comes from the parallel minor, A flat, and then the 6th degree, which is A, which comes from the major, and then the flat 7, which comes from the minor, and then the 7th degree, which comes from the major scale. Okay, now let's just take a look at the first chunk of this here. Let's say these chords here, the first, like the C major, D minor, E minor, and F major, and the C minor, D minor 7 flat 5, E flat major 7, and F minor. And we can even go as far as the G7 here. I'm just trying to make a point that this is not just pedantic theory. There's the 2 chord in a minor key, the 5 chord in a major key, the 1 chord in a major key. Minor, major, minor key, major or minor, and then major key. And then the F sharp minor 7 flat 5 is the 2 chord in E minor. That's another story. But then the F minor, as we can see, is the 4 chord in the minor key, right? 4 chord in the minor key, and then the 3 chord in major key, passing diminished, and then 2 5 1. Now, and look at the second section, E flat major 7, E flat major 7. We call that chord, right? That comes from the parallel minor key, and it's called a flat 3 major because we count the degrees from the tonal center, which the tonal center in this case is C, and so we have C, D, E flat, and we would call the E flat a flat 3, and the chord type is a major, so this chord type is a flat 3 major. Now, so C major, and then that flat 3, right? 2 minor 7 flat 5 from minor key, G7, 5, and then 1. So that 3 flat 3 major, you're not going to get that from the key of C, though you can't derive that chord anywhere from the key of C major, the notes in C major. So the only way that you can derive chords like the E flat major, and like the D minor 7 flat 5, and like the F minor, all of which take place in this tune night and day, is by using composite harmony, by using parallel harmony, meaning that you're in 2 keys at the same time. If you take those 2 keys and you join those 2 keys together, then you end up with composite harmony. Now, there's probably, I hope you can wrap your head around that because it's hugely important. Now, at the bottom here, we just have a simple little explanation. Composite key, C major, C minor. The 1 chord is in a major key is C major, and the 1 chord in a minor key is C minor. The 2 chord in the major key is a simple D minor or D minor 7, and the 2 chord in a minor key is a D minor 7 with the flat 5, as I sort of demonstrated before. And the 5 chord is going to be most often a G7. Now up here it says G minor, but it's often a G7 because in a minor key we raise the 7th degree to give us that G7, which is this is another lesson, but I'll show you what I mean. Here's a natural minor scale. That's a natural minor scale, or the Aeolian mode. But now if I raise the 7th degree, right, that's got that little bit of a Middle Eastern vibe. And that's a long story, that one. But that results in giving us that raised 7th to give us a G7 chord, right? If I don't raise the 7th, because chords come from scales, if I don't raise the 7th degree, then I don't get a G7 chord. So if I raise the 7th degree, I get a G7 chord. And the G7, and the reason I want a G7 chord is it's more final. It gives us a stronger, more satisfying resolution to the 1. Right? So it's like we're borrowing the 7 chord from a major key, which would provide the same result. Okay, and the flat 9 is something we'll look at later. So the most important thing to take away from this is the idea of composite harmony, major and minor, from the same root, not relative minor. Relative minor is they've got different roots. That's a whole different bag, right? That's a whole different thing. That's not nearly as it's a little less complicated. Or no, I shouldn't use the word complicated. It's simpler. It's simpler. But composite harmony is used all the time in jazz playing, and what we're doing is taking 2 scales, putting those scales together, and harmonizing those scales, taking the chords that are in those scales, and as a result of those scales, and putting them together, and that gives us a lot more harmonic material to use. I'll give you an example, right? For instance, if we go from the D minor 7 flat 5, so that's a really lovely, rich sound. How about from the this is like, why don't we borrow that A flat major 7? Check this out. See, there's nothing that sounds strange about that. It just sounds lovely to me, right? Or how about man, isn't that nice? That E flat major to the A flat major, and then to the C major, right? So I mean, there are so many examples of rich, lovely, lavish sounding harmonies that you can achieve through composite harmony, and that you will encounter repeatedly in the real book standards, in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real book standards that use composite harmony as a matter of course. It's there all the time. And if you can't recognize that, if you don't have the tools to recognize that composite harmony, it'll really shortchange you in your ability to analyze the tune and to in turn improvise over that tune. All right, composite harmony, and remember the minor 7 flat 5 chord. That minor 7 flat 5 chord. Whenever you see that, you've got to bells should go off. Okay, what is that? Oh, it's a 2 chord, right? That's a sign. It's saying it's a 2 chord in a minor key. What's that doing there? And now you should know. Okay, so that's it for today. That's a little look at composite harmony. Really super fun, and there's just so much you can do with it. I hope this was a help to you. If it was, please click like and feel free to subscribe. We love more subscribers, the better. Guitar players are all great people, and also if you have any questions, right, just leave the questions, and we will and we'll get back to as many as we can. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Composite harmony is the word of the day.